Recording.
Today's conversation is all about win-win. Win-win. Our society has really strayed away from this spirit of collaboration, and it's instead being pushed into competition. And while competition in healthy doses are very beneficial, they oftentimes, if you stay in that state too long, it often breeds just very ugly mentalities, very ugly sense of being, this spirit that you carry with you. It kind of takes the idea of flowing in life, and it really kind of diminishes it and replaces it with this idea of control and conquering. We must move back into the win-win mindset. Now, I'm going to talk about that shortly, but what I see right now is a lot of win-lose. And sadly, most people would rather a lose-lose than see somebody else win at their expense, which, to a degree makes some sense. I'm not saying it's the best approach, but I can see how you could rationalize that. But what I'd like to think about instead, or I like you all to think about, is shaping your mind and realizing that sometimes you're actually not losing, right? If you have a deal on the table and you want to charge somebody $100,000, right? And they say they can give you $20,000. And what you bought this item for was $2,000. Some people are so fixated on this idea of conquering others and this idea of winning everything that they're willing to completely forego any deal if they don't get exactly what they want. Because in their minds, not getting exactly what they want is losing. I want y'all to sit with that for a moment and really think. Some people's mindset is to the degree that if I don't get exactly what I want, I am losing, no matter if it's better than what I currently have. In this example, I bought this for $2,000. I want to sell it for $60,000. And somebody says, hey, I can give you $15,000 for it. Some people are so fixated on this win-lose where it's like, no, they don't do what I say, I'm losing and I don't like that. So look, nobody gets a deal. They would forfeit into a lose-lose scenario. And I don't want to get too lost in this idea, but I want y'all to see, like, some people's mindset are just like this, where if you don't get everything, you're losing. Where all it takes is a subtle shift to realize, no. It's not about what you want. It's sometimes more beneficial to really just think about what you can get. What you can get, and it's beneficial. When you see it from that angle, you start looking for win-win scenarios, right? So look, maybe you won't pay all the money for it, but I'm getting something for it, and I can maybe take off some concessions. So now I'm winning at something that I feel good about getting and giving. And if we look at things in that scenario, in that regard, in that angle, you will see a lot more harmonious connections with everybody. It's not always about just looking to take as much as you can. Sometimes we don't need all that. Not sometimes, most of the time, we don't need as much as we want. But this idea of greed, and it's a very thin line between aspiring for more and being greedy. And I would say the line is really intention. Some people want more money for the sake of wanting more money. And I won't even say it's intention. I'm going to explain that in a second, but I don't think it's actually intention. It is unconscious motivation. That is the fine line. See, some people have unconscious motivation for accumulating money, and that's why it manifests itself as greed. because they just want to take everything because they're not aware of what they actually are looking to do with the money. We're aspiring for more. When I want more money, it is for a particular outcome. It is actually allocated already. I want to make $10,000 a month because I want to be able to drop my mom $2,500 a month. I want to be able to travel and do what I like and be able to provide for subscriptions for the rest of my family. And that's going to cost roughly $10,000 a month. Do you see how that's aspiring for more? Because you know where this money is going, where a lot of greed is simply hoarding. I would say that's really the line that draws greed and aspiration is just hoarding. I want more money. I want to make $100,000 a year. Okay, beautiful. What are you going to do with it? Well, I'm going to buy a car and move into a new house. And I'm not saying those things are bad things, but I'm saying when you want those things without an actual reason behind it, and sometimes you don't need a reason. This is just my own thoughts. I don't want y'all to I don't want anybody to draw their defenses up. I want you to just listen to this with an open mind. I think whenever you are wanting more things in life, there has to be an intrinsic motivation behind it. Because that's what's going to drive you forward and not just the result, right? Or not just the outcome. I want to make sure my mom's good. So let me make sure I build my business, right? Versus I want to make all this money. Let me make sure I build my business. You see, when you attach a motivation to why you're doing some of the things that you're doing, it allows you to stay on course. It allows you to stay in key. It allows you to stay in alignment with whatever it is that you want to do. And look, I was a person for a while that was like, you don't need motivation. Motivation is crap. And to a degree, it's not at all. Because guess what? No matter what you do every day, you're motivated to do it. It's a big shock to a lot of people I know. You mean I'm motivated to not lose weight? Yes, because you're motivated to stay comfortable. You mean I'm motivated to stay in a toxic relationship? Yes, because you're motivated to not change, to stay within the comfort zone, to stay in an environment that you've always known, or to stay in an environment that is familiar. We are motivated every single day, and our actions and the results of our lives are a byproduct of this motivation. So the question that you have to ask yourself is, what is your motivation? And when you see what is your motivation, it will shift your mind. It will shift your mind into moving into a more collaborative space, because you start seeing that, one, I don't need to get everything just for the sake of getting everything. And then two, it allows you to realize that, this is another person that I'm speaking to. This person has things that they are needing as well, just like I'm needing as well. And so instead of saying, what can I take? The mindset is, what can I offer? What can I support this person with? And then the question you ask yourself as well is, how can this person help support me? And so now it's a mutual supporting relationship. And now both parties can win. Both parties can leave that situation, that encounter, or that relationship with more support than they came in with. That's a whole different mindset from just saying, hey, I need this from you. See, the thing is, you may need something, but you don't need something from somebody. It's a very distinct difference. You may need support. You may need clients. You may need space, but you don't need it from somebody. It's just what you need intrinsically. When you realize that, it's easier now to interact with people and don't think of things in this lose-lose, win-lose. It's always win-win. It's always win-win, right? If I'm not getting what I need or what would help me, there is no reason for this conversation, but I don't have to go into a competition mode. I don't have to make sure you lose. I can still make it a collaborative effort. It doesn't seem like we're in much of alignment, or we have the things that will benefit each other. Let's just keep the lines of communication open in case I have somebody that would be able to assist you. Now, every situation you go into becomes a win-win, because it's just a matter of being an ecosystem. It's being a network and passing resources and support and tools and mindsets and insights through the network. that's really at the heart of win-win. Becoming a network and sharing those things that you know would help another on their path, on their journey. But that's it for today, family. I just want to wrap it up with this simple thing is look for win-wins in life. Look for win-wins. Don't just seek to take. Nature is a balance, and we are a nature incarnate. And the further we forget that and the further we move away from that truth is the more chaotic things seem. Then we move from collaboration to competition. And when you're in competition, you're either conquered or you're conquering. How about we build the conquer-proof core as an individual, and then as families, then as communities, and as a society. So we're always staying in a collaborative mindset, and therefore we continue to grow, expand, and get closer and closer and closer to achieving our fullest potential. Right now, if you are an ungrounded dreamer of some sort, and I call out the ungrounded dreamers because I was that person for a very long time. I had all these great ideas. I know I'm a brilliant mind, and most likely, if you're an ungrounded dreamer, you know that you have this spark of genius inside you. Maybe it's creating, maybe it's talking, maybe it's speaking, maybe it's ideas, but there's this tinge of doubt that says maybe you're not so great. Or maybe you don't have that tinge of doubt, but you don't have the clarity, you don't have the structure, you don't have the things in place to actually build this idea that you have in your mind, or be able to extrapolate this idea on a paper and make it a reality. So instead, we stay in our heads all day, just hypothesizing and waiting for something magical to happen, and it'll come to life. And look, if that's you, this is that moment right now. You're getting the opportunity. You're being offered the opportunity. Look, you listen to this podcast today, you're here right now for a reason. And my mission, so you know this is how it's in alignment, is to help ungrounded dreamers go and transform into high impact visionaries. You will have support, you will have guidance, you'll have help in the way that you need it. It's not you fitting into a system, it's a system created for you. So you can do your genius, you can operate in your capacity at the highest level. So if this sounds like you, or you know somebody that this sounds like, the first step is just to go visit my site, cpc.iyolg.com, and see if it's for you. It's not for everybody, and I'm not gonna act like this. It's not for everybody, because I'm not for everybody. But if this is you, if this is resonating, this is stimulating your heart chakra, this is stimulating your sacral or your solar chakra, your belly or your heart, where you're feeling maybe this little subtle rush of energy. This is for you. This is an announcement for you. And so I encourage you and I implore you and I suggest and recommend that you visit the site and see if it's for you. There's a special bonus at the end of that short little video. So the invitation's on the table. And as you'll hear in there, I'm gonna ask you again, would you like more success? If the answer is yes, you know what to do. Go to cpc.iyolg.com. The link will be in the bio or the comments wherever this video is at. This is Brother 𝐁𝐫𝐶 signing out.